What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. The Goobers are back. Football almost back. Brian, how are you?
I'm good. This is kind of like the State of the Union where we get to just kind of air out all of our takes over the past what feels like year. NFL really has only been relevant the last like 3 months for those that are not true sickos doing pre-draft contests. So excited to talk about some of our best ball takes, players we love, players we don't like, some of our flag plants. We'll get into it throughout the show. How are you?
Doing good. Ready for the real football. I'm tired of this preseason. I'm tired of best ball. I want real football.
You just want to see your results, and I understand.
Yeah, that's totally what it is. So today we're gonna do like our loves and our hates in each round, and then at the end we're gonna do like our flag plants, kind of the players we're taking our stands on. But we'll do it kind of as a companion as we get into a draft. So I'm gonna hop into a BBM if anyone wants to join. I'm hopping in 3, 2, 1.
Are you intending to share your screen?
Not yet. Now I'm intending to.
Okay.
All right. We got a little PowerPoint cooked up.
Clearly the most prepared we've ever been for any show ever.
It's really remarkable. I'm not sure how this happened. Kind of disappointed though. We need 4 for the BB. So these are our predictions. I covered up the hates because we'll do a second draft. We're going to tease that. We'll get to the hates in a little bit later, but we had me, Brian, and Anthony fill out our loves and our hates. CeeDee Lamb is our top 6 love. Brian, talk to me.
I mean, Lamb is he's just a baller, man. It's an offense that you can trust. He's done it before. I expect with Pickens now, a member of the Cowboys, to really open up things for Lamb and not have to worry about so much double coverage. Their running game is basically non-existent. I think they're going to be in a lot of shootouts because I don't think their defense is particularly impressive. I can see this just being they average 27, 28 points. Lamb and Pickens both go off. And I really love their week 17 matchup against the Commanders. I think that has potential to be like a 55, 60 point game. So Lamb in the top 6 is who I'm going after.
Yeah, I agree. But aren't you worried about George Pickens?
No, I'm encouraged by George Pickens because defenses now have to zero in on both of them instead of having to worry about stopping Kevontae Turpin and the ghost of Amari Cooper and Jalen Tolbert. So no, I think Pickens' addition opens things up for Lamb, similar to what Chase and T. Higgins have to deal with, more than it does take away from his upside.
We got pick 3, by the way.
Lamb, come on down.
And then Anthony had Jahmyr Gibbs. What do we think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen his upside towards the end of last season. If Montgomery gets hurt, Gibbs is probably going to be the highest projected running back on the slate in a given week. He has 40-point upside, which is what you need to win these best ball contests. He's in a high-octane offense. There's a new OC in town who has really been talking about opening up Jahmyr Gibbs more, both by giving him the ball, from a rushing perspective, but also lining him up out wide. So, the theme of all 3 of our picks here is betting on players in good offenses. And we love Justin Jefferson, the talent. We love the player. He's probably the most talented person in the league from the wide receiver perspective. But that offense with the kind of redshirt rookie running back, tough to click.
Do you want to do an ode to Anthony and pick Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah, Gibbs is more fun.
Anthony's not dead, by the way. It's not an ode to him like dead. It's an ode to him that he's just not here today. I had 2 interesting things about that. One, I didn't realize Gibbs had like 100 less carries than Saquon last year, and he had 2 less fantasy points. That is crazy.
It's not only an ode to Gibbs, but it's also showing Saquon, people would acknowledge, had like a 95% good run out last year. He had like 7 touchdowns of 60 plus yards, and he still, by comparison, had
no
similar amount of points. What's that?
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers for the hates.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Simply just from he was so efficient, didn't have any injuries, had 400 carries, was not involved in the passing game. Seems like you're kind of buying the top on Saquon where he's going now. People seem to be a bit more reactive to what's going on.
All right. 7 through 12, I had Malik Neighbors, obviously, and Brian and Anthony both had Nico.
Talk to me about Neighbors.
Not sure about that one. Neighbors, he's just the greatest to ever do it. He's going to command a 37% target share again. He's going to have 200 targets and probably 2,000 yards. His touchdown equity is going to increase a little bit this year with Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson. So, I mean, what's there not to love? Like, the guy just he is an absolute superstar.
Don't disagree with anything you've said, but we just talked about 10 seconds ago the importance of drafting players on good offenses. I do expect the Giants offense to be better this year than last year, but there was a stretch for most of the mid part of the season where Neighbors was getting like 7 to 12 points. Like, that's not what you need out of your.
If the Giants were projected to be a good offense, Neighbors would be the 101. I'm actually so serious.
Yeah, if they're a good, yeah, right, okay. And if Joe Burrow got killed tomorrow, like Jamar Chase would be like a back end of the first pick.
All right, send me the Nico bull case.
Nico is just the guy you want in best ball scoring format. His average depth of target is like 15 yards. He's the clear number one in an offense that is not capable of running the ball. They have a new OC who's going to air it out. They've done a little bit to improve that bad offensive line, and I think Stroud is due for a bounce back season.
Yeah, I just maybe Stroud just isn't that good is my last and final take on the Texans.
Yeah, see, I think that's like overreactive to what happened last year.
Maybe
they got rid of Bobby Slowick. Things are opening up now.
I'm good with AJ Brown or Ladd.
I'll go AJ Brown.
All right, little ADP fall.
Little ADP fall, yeah.
All right, and then round 2, I had Ladd. 3 different ones here. Ladd, Brian had Bucky, and Anthony had AJ Brown.
Yeah, we'll talk about AJ Brown since we just took him, but again, keeping that theme alive. Betting on good offenses, I think, is important. AJ Brown, if the Eagles just regress a bit more towards some of those offensive plays being passes instead of rushes, nobody's doubting the talent of AJ Brown. It's all about just opportunity. So I think if you're getting him at a discounted price mid second round, which is historically a discount from where he's going in the past, it's good value.
We're on the clock. We have Gibbs and Brown. McBride seems like a smash.
Yeah, we could go McBride. It's tough, only having one wide receiver through 3 rounds, but I like McBride over the receivers here.
Yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts on AJ Brown? Like, love, hate?
No.
Spoilers.
I mean, I'm pretty much never drafting Saquon, so it'd be stupid to also not draft AJ Brown. Good leverage, but I like Jalen Hurts' price, so it's just a good pick there, especially the back of the second round. Like, he was going in the beginning of the second round all summer, and then he got a phantom hamstring injury, and then just never really rose back up again.
Seems like a guy after like week 4, if he's smashing, people are going to be like, why were we drafting Drake London, Devon Achane over AJ Brown?
Brian, what would you say to the haters, Bucky Irving haters? He's not a workhorse. He only gets 50% of snaps. He's not that efficient. What do you say to that?
Well, I say he did all of that while being the running back 6 once he started getting more touches. I mean, it's a similar argument to Chase Brown. Like, a guy, he's not super efficient, but he's on a great offense their defense is not going to be good. Their playoff schedule is just to die for. They're playing the Falcons at home in week 15. They're playing at the Panthers in week 16, and then they're playing against the Dolphins in week 17. Like, there's not a better team that has an easier playoff schedule going up against offenses that I think can push it against them that have awful defenses than what the Bucs face. And let's be honest, like, Bucky Irving is a really good rusher. I think his role will only continue to grow in the offense from last year to this year. That's what, at least what the OC has suggested when talking about Bucky. So I think Bucky, getting him at like the end of the second round, like, I don't think there's much difference between Bucky, Achane, and Chase Brown for what they can be this year. And you're getting Bucky at the end of the second. So that's who I'm going to want to take more often than not.
Yeah. And then for Ladd, he's just a grown ass man. Grown-ass
He's
man
just a
on a good
grown-ass man.
offense. He's a good football player.
That's it. Sometimes it's just draft the best players. What about you? Lad McConkey. You didn't really talk about him.
That's what I said. Lad McConkey, grown-ass man, good football player.
Oh, sure. I thought you were talking about Bucky.
For round 3, we have our loves as Omarion Hampton. Brian has Tyreek. What the heck? And then Anthony has Trey McBride.
Trey McGronk.
Tyreek? No thanks. Pass.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, again, it was a down year all around for the Dolphins. No one's going to deny that. But 2 years ago, this guy was going as the number 1 overall receiver or number 1 overall pick in drafts. I think last year was, swung the pendulum 2 years ago, swung way too far one way, where the Dolphins were like the most efficient team in the NFL. Last year, they had a lot more issues. Jonnu broke out unexpectedly. Now he's gone, so it condenses the offense even more. They have a great playoff schedule again. And I just like the way I just like how condensed the offense is, and I think Tua is going to take a step forward this year.
I mean, this is clearly a Travion Henderson pick.
Yeah, I like Henderson, and then we can figure out the receiver we like on the way back.
Yeah, it's a later problem.
Well, I know. Well, there's more receivers available at the next pick.
Yeah. I just don't see it with Tyreek. Maybe he's just bad now. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't care. He's rich. He's got too many babies. Like, the whole thing is weird. Bad vibes all around. No thanks. I'll pass.
Yeah, we'll make this pick, and then we'll get to your love for round 3. Anyone standing out to you?
Probably Waddle.
Waddle's good. I just think that offense in general, like the Dolphins offense, is going to be very condensed this year, especially with Jonnu out of the picture. So, like, if you think, Dolphins are probably going to have a bottom 5 defense in the league this year. Their cornerbacks are awful. So, unless you expect the Dolphins to lose by 30 points every game, which is not out of the realm of possibility, someone is going to have to score meaningful fantasy points on a weekly basis. And I think betting on the guy who's done it 6 of the last 7 years in his career, I'm gonna take that bet in the 3rd round.
Yeah, and in round 3, I had Hampton. I mean, it's just a bet on rookie running backs with good draft capital on a good team. So, kind of the same argument as Ladd. He's grown ass man, good at football, young, and it seems like they want to give him as much work as they can. And Najee's dead.
Well, I was gonna say Hampton had like a great run out of Najee destroying his eye on the 4th of July. So
yeah,
he's gotten all the work with the ones. Like, I don't even think Najee's been practicing yet. I think he's just
started practicing today.
Right.
All right. And then round 4, this is an easy one. I had Devontae. We talked about him enough. And then Brian had Xavier Worthy. Does that change with the early suspension for Rashee Rice?
A little bit. I had Worthy in there prior to the Rice suspension news, and we should probably talk about that shortly, because I think I just saw him go right before we made our last pick. But either way, I still think Worthy is a good value. I'm curious now with the Rice suspension not being in the back half of the year, like thought potentially a couple days ago, how this affects Worthy's price. Like, if Worthy falls from like the 4-5, like the 3-4 turn to like the 4-5, or like even the middle of the 5th, if things get too extreme in the next week or so, I'll be all over Worthy at that price. I think he showed that he could be an alpha. He gets 6 weeks to be the number 1 target on a Patrick Mahomes offense without Rashee Rice for almost half the season. I think it's one of those things where you can't put back in the box once you take it out. And if Worthy takes that leap, like I think he will, I think this could be a guy that we really want to take next year.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit less in on him now that the Rice suspension is early, but I still think he's fine. Probably going a little bit early, but he has upside, so that's all right. And then Devontae Adams, Devontae's just gonna project as like the wide receiver 4 in week 1, and no one even cares. No one cares. He's going around 3, sometimes around 4. His ADP in the Eliminator was like 45. Like, what are we doing? Like, no, incorrect.
I think it's a concern. It's a lot of things. It's a 31-year-old receiver on a new team with a quarterback who was
sick last year.
Who? Yeah, he was sick.
Devontae
was sick. Tyreek was sick 2 years ago, and then he had a bad year this year, and no one wants him.
Yeah, he's still going too early.
My thing is Devontae is not going to be the number 1 receiver on that team. Stafford is already hurt going into the year. You don't want to find injuries when you can control it.
Oh, I would just love a Matthew Golden fall. Oh yeah, you get no objections there.
Not going to even bother trying to say anything.
Yep. All right, round five. Obviously, I pick Waddle. I pick him every time. Brian has Travis. That's Travis Hunter, yeah. And then Anthony had DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf was the most surprising name on the list because, like, I don't even know if Anthony has uttered the words DK Metcalf this offseason. So to see him as like his favorite round 5 pick was a bit surprising, but
shocking.
I guess if you could argue, like, oh, what Rodgers did with Devontae Adams is how he's going to treat DK Metcalf this season. Like, okay, I get it, but I think Devontae Adams is a better player than Metcalf.
Way better.
And I still don't trust Arthur Smith with my money, so I'm not taking him. I don't want to take Rodgers.
What do you want to do here?
Keon Coleman. Holy crap, that's early.
I don't mind Diggs. I don't mind Judy. I guess Jawan. Shakir's back in practice.
I like Judy.
All right, we can do it.
Judy with talk about a guy that's going to project well. Judy with Flacco is probably going to project for like 15 points, and again, nobody seems to care.
So I had Waddle, obviously. I just think Tyreek's not that good anymore. So I mean, if Tyreek's not commanding 30% targets, it's got to go somewhere. It's going to go to Waddle. They got rid of Jonnu too. So I mean, all the projection sites love him. So how am I not going to love him? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar argument to what I was saying for Tyreek. It's just a player preference for us, which I guess that means that we're kind of in on the Dolphins. If I have Tyreek as a value in round 3 and you have Waddle as value in round 5, like it seems like we have to be into that offense at least in some degree.
And then Travis Hunter, explain yourself.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm doing a full 180 on. So in the big board and when we did those preseason or pre-draft contests, like I was pretty against taking Hunter in those when he went in round 13. So naturally, now that he's in round 5, I want him. Really, it's just a bet on talent. Like there's been he's the number 2 overall pick. The Jags traded up to get him. It seems like there's going to be a big opportunity for him offensively. Like it seems like he's kind of emerging more as an offensive weapon than as a defensive threat, which a lot of smart people were saying for a while, but it took me some time to get on. And again, I really like the week 17 matchup against the Colts. Colts are a defense that I do not expect to be good. I think we can get a very sloppy game that can result in another 60 plus point total. And I want the guy that went second overall in the draft.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know. But did you know that he has to tackle Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, you could get point if he forces a fumble, picks it up, and then scores a touchdown.
Is that points?
That's points, yeah.
Round 6, Matthew Golden with that disgusting helmet on is my pick. I mean, he's for first round rookie wide receiver going late. I like playing every down basically. He's risen like 30 spots, so like obviously like he's a smash, but I still think he's a smash in round 6 where he's going, as you can see because we took him in round 6. Brian, James Conner.
Yeah, you would take Golden in round 4 if you had to.
Yeah, probably.
But I Golden again, another guy that's getting a lot of positive buzz out of camp. Clearly, it seems like he's just like the alpha, if there is such a thing in that offense. So he's running with the ones. He's the number 1 read for Jordan Love so far from what we've seen in camp and then in the preseason game. So it definitely some good closing line value if listening to Gumby there.
And again, explain yourself, James Conner. That might be the worst pick on the board.
James Conner is just a guy that's going to project for like 16.5 points on a weekly basis. The offense runs through 2 people on that team. It's James Conner and it's Trey McBride. I just want as much James Conner as I can. This is a guy that's just perennially disrespected by the fantasy industry.
Run the clock. I hate this range, by the way.
I can't see the screen.
That's not good. Probably Pittman. We could go Kyler for the stack, but I kind of hate Kyler.
We could push Kyler.
Guess we're autoing Pittman.
Pittman's fine. Kind of uninspiring. I would have considered Charbonnet there.
I think I'm good on that.
Really?
We could always just take Jacobrowski Merritt.
I know you say that as a joke. There he goes. Oh man, that guy took both of my running backs.
Going ahead, I don't know. I guess it's kind of gross, but I don't know.
None of those running backs that are left
This
are
whole range
inspiring.
until like Shaheed is gross.
Yeah, well, it's all just quarterbacks and tight ends. I
Do
guess
you
we'll
want
go
to do
Kyler.
Kyler?
Yeah, we should go Kyler here. It's prudent.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a fun click, but I don't have a lot of him.
Is this Igbuka? Number 9?
That is Egbuka, yes.
Yeah, he's also a great pick. Not as good of a pick as Golden, obviously, because I think like when Godwin comes back, like he's still gonna play, but I mean, even if Godwin's not 100%, he's gonna meaningfully take some receiving share away. Don't get me wrong, still a smash.
The news on Godwin has just been inconsistent and suspicious for the last like 2 months. It like first it was he could like if you remember when he got hurt initially, it was like he could probably come back for the playoffs, but we decided to not push it because we didn't want to re-aggravate it or anything going into next year. Then this, a couple months ago, it was like, Chris Godwin's fine. He's not practicing, but he's fine. Trust us. Now it's like, well, we're hoping he gets to play in October. Like, okay, something either did not go well in his rehab, or he was never really close to playing when they were talking about this months ago. So Egbuka is a guy that I had as my wide receiver 1 in college going into this season. I made that pretty clear in the big board that we were doing all off season. Hopefully you guys got him in like the 90s and 100s because that was just an obvious value.
I did. I was clicking Golden every time instead by accident.
Well, I mean, it's not like you were clicking somebody that went down in ADP. Yeah. Golden is fine. To me, Egbuka is a guy that, again, similar to Bucky, like a young player. He's going to get a ton of opportunity early. He's been having, by all accounts, like one of the best camps of any player this offseason. So again, going through that schedule, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, like that's the best. That's the nutted weeks. That's the nutted playoff schedule this year. So I love Egbuka. I've loved him even before the draft. I love him even now more, especially with the Godwin run out.
Yeah, I mean this round, like this area is just where all the good rookie receivers tend to go. Like I remember last year, Rome was going here. I mean, it wasn't good, but BTJ, Ladd was going around here. So it's just close your eyes, bet on the rookies here. You'll probably win more than you lose.
Yep.
Round 7, I had Addison, and Brian and Anthony had Juan Jennings.
3rd and Juwan, baby. Hard not to like Juwan. Like he was the clear alpha in that team after Ayuk and Debo injuries. He had almost 1,000 yards playing in a full-time position for about 10 games or so. It's a scary click now more than it was at the time, with the whole contract thing and then the calf injury, which I still don't know how much of that is real. So it's not a comfortable click by any means, and I'm not doing it so much now as I was a month ago. But I still think he's going to be the number 1 read on that offense. And I don't even know when Ayuk comes back, if he comes back, how efficient he'll be. To me, this is a Luther Burden pick every time.
Yeah, I figured you were going to say that. I think that's fine. We'll do it.
Yeah, Luther Burden, very fun.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings. He's fine to me. He's not the most exciting. I don't know. Calf injury is moderately concerning. Contract thing is minimally concerning. Him just not being that good is severely concerning. I don't know. If it takes you 9 years to break out, maybe you just got lucky.
I don't know. I don't think it's luck. I think their playoff schedule is also pretty good. And the 49ers just in general have the easiest schedule in the NFL by last year's record. So I like him. I like him less than I did a month ago, like I said, but I still think he's a pretty good value. Like getting the number 1 receiver on San Francisco in the 7th round, like that sounds like a bet I'd want to make.
We're on the clock.
Do we go? Is Love here?
No, he went.
Maybe Eckler.
I like Eckler.
Yeah, we can go Eckler.
A lot.
Oh, we should go Tootin.
No, I think
why do you have Tootin ranked after ADP?
I don't know. These ranks are these are Easy's ranks from like 2 weeks ago.
Oh God! If I knew that, I would have told you to take Tootin first.
Oh, Addison. I mean, 3-game suspension. People are very scared of a 3-game suspension the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm not scared. Let the record show. I'm not scared. Brian's not scared. Anthony's not scared. But they were scared to put him on their love list. So I put Jordan Addison on my love list. Great pick. Survive for the first 3 weeks. There's no buys. There's no injuries. Grow up.
Addison's a great value where he's going.
Great value.
I loved him in the 5th in the like in May and June when those contests were out before his suspension was known. I was taking him in the 5th and 6th on a regular basis. So I love him in the 7th as well. That three game suspension is nothing.
Round 8. I see this is the range we just had that I said I didn't really like anyone. I don't really love Mark Andrews, but I loved him more than the other 11 guys in the group. So I put Mark Andrews, Brian put Tyrone Tracy, and Anthony put Tyler Warren. I would have put Tyler Warren, but I'm a fraud and I only have like 4% of him because I was drafting Colson Loveland the whole time. But I do really like Tyler Warren. I think that's a great call.
Tyler Warren's a fun player. My tight end won all off season. I was mocked, ridiculed, right through the coals even when I suggested anything other than Colson Loveland, even though he went higher in the draft. Tyler Warren, awesome preseason. Again, another guy that's just having an amazing camp this year. So I love the pick by Anthony. But the guy I love even more than Tyler Warren is the guy I've been touting since February. Tyrone Tracy, a starting running back you can get on an offense that we think will take a step forward in round 8. This guy had over 1,100 scrimmage yards as a rookie when he only played full time in 13 games. If you expect the Giants to have any meaningful leap in terms of production on the offensive side, like Tracy is going to play a big role in this offense. Like he kind of had a good run out with Scatabo being injured. I'll acknowledge that, but I still don't think Scatabo is a threat to take his job this year. And I'm still jamming Tracy because he is still underpriced.
I mean, he's not a threat to take Tracy's job, but he's a threat to take meaningful either goal line or receiving work, or probably both at the end of the season. That's like, I still think he's fine. I wouldn't love him because I just think his role probably diminishes as the year goes on.
We'll see. I think he's more of a change of pace back, and then when they see the change of pace is much slower, they'll put him instead of Scatabo out there.
Yeah, I picked Mark Andrews for 2 reasons. One, because I think people are writing him off because of last year, but I think the car accident situation had more to do with it than people think. Plus, Likely's hurt, and I don't. The fact that people are drafting Likely just pisses me off. So I want Mark Andrews to do good. I think he's just such a bad pick.
Why do you think Likely? I know this is like a love show, but why do you hate Likely?
He's a backup tight end. What other backup tight ends get drafted?
A backup tight end is Harold Fannin. A backup tight end.
Yeah, there you go.
A backup tight end is kind of unfair to him because he's
ADP,
a red
by the way,
zone guy.
sorry to interrupt. This Braylon Allen ADP is like a jump scare. 132 is crazy.
I have taken him one time in 500
Javonte.
drafts.
Maybe I'm stupid, but I like Javonte.
You should take Samson over Javonte. We already have Judy. It correlates.
No, I definitely don't want to take 2 fucking Cleveland Browns.
You
try
do
again.
Joe
Bad
Flacco's
argument. Try again. Bad argument. Yeah, 2 seconds.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, that's all you got.
Okay, how about Javonte has been ass for 4 years?
And how about we need a quarterback plan, like immediately?
Oh wait, is Tua gone?
Yeah.
I was banking on Tua.
We could do like Coker Bryce.
I like Coker.
Coker's going now.
Coker's fun. We could take him, Coker, and Jatavian as our tight end too.
Yeah,
that seems right.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing we took Kyler because this would have been real bad.
Well, when you go elite quarter, like not elite, but when you go
don't even say that.
I corrected. I would just go Bryce here. Yeah. There's no one else that I want.
I like Tyler Algier. Coker might go before us though. To be honest,
he may not. Well, we still have Sanders. We still have Jatavian.
That's true. All right, let's go back to the loves. Round 9. 2 Shaheeds, me and Anthony, and then Brian had Brock Purdy. See, for me, it's just hard to put a quarterback in there because it depends on the pass catchers. But you also like Juan, so
Juwan.
Now it's Juan.
Why do you like Shaheed? Give me the bull case because I'm honestly like conflicted with this. A quarterback like Spencer Rattler beat out Tyler Shuck. We've seen what Spencer Rattler can do. Like what gives you confidence?
Yeah, well, I made this 20 minutes before that came out. That was not good news for me. I have a lot of Shaheed. I have a lot of Olave. The problem, like I watched Spencer Rattler play like 3 games last year, and they were like some of the worst football games I've ever seen. So that makes me I was like, Shug has to be the starter. If he can't beat out Spencer Rattler, he fucking sucks.
That's how I feel.
So that is concerning. I still like, but here's the thing, right? Like ETR was saying that Mike Leone was saying that he like docked like Shaheed as much as they possibly could in their projections, like assuming their quarterback play is horrible. Like it's Shaheed's still a smash. So like, I don't know. Maybe we get surprise quarterback play. If not, he's probably not going to kill me.
Well, that's what it is. It's all about the draft capital. Like this is a round 9 pick. This is the type of player, especially the way he scores points. Like he could get there 4 for 110 and 2. And like, congratulations. Like that probably pays off his ADP if it happens in the right week or two.
Also, speaking of Mike Leone and the 49ers are on my screen, he said on one of his podcasts that McCaffrey's going to project as the running back 1 in week 1.
Is that surprising?
He's going at like pick 8.
Because you
He's
win
like
money.
the running back 5.
You win money in week 17. People are not drafting. If you could have told everyone.
Like that's so. If I knew that like in May, I would have had like 90% McCaffrey. Like that's insane.
Are you serious? I could have
Like,
told you he was going to project for the running back. I mean, they have the easiest schedule in the league, and this guy is the only one who scored over 400 fantasy points in the player pool multiple years.
Yeah,
he's involved in the passing game. He's probably going to be like the number 2.
I mean,
maybe
I guess when you think about it, it makes sense. Like Barkley never projected that well last year, which is probably wrong to be honest. But Bijan is gonna have Algier is gonna have some work. It's hard to project Bijan for like 20 something points.
Gibbs is a time with Montgomery.
Yeah,
and then you have McCaffrey. I mean,
yeah.
the 49ers said we don't like Garendo, so we're gonna go get Brian Robinson. Like
Who
that.
Sucks.
That tells you what they think of the running back room.
Yeah. All right. And then bull case on Purdy.
Yeah, Purdy, I kind of talked about it with Juwan Jennings, but easiest schedule in the league. They're playing the Bears week 17. I think that is a favorable matchup for them. Another sloppy sort of game I think can result in a shootout. And Purdy's just a good football player, and we like good football players with easy schedules.
Yep. We're on deck here. Just waiting to see if we get Coker. If not, it's time to panic.
No, we got him.
And then what do we want to do coming back?
Let's
probably done a receiver. Kyler, Bryce, Young, Gibbs, Travion, Eckler, Javonte, AJ Brown, Waddle, Golden, Judy, Pittman, Burden, Coker, and Trey McTwomoms.
I'd probably go Shipley here.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I like Shipley. I like Dowdle. Giddens is good.
Any of these 3 I'm good with. And then hopefully we can get Jatavion Sanders on the way back.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad team. We need something. We need some breaks at the running back room, but I mean, let's be honest. What teams that are drafted in this don't?
I mean, like we have 2 starting running backs, so plus Eckler, whoever. I wonder what his workload is going to be. This is kind of a hot take. I don't think anything we can go. I'd prefer Shipley, but yeah, I think that's fine.
We do have the Bryce Young stuff. I don't know. I don't think it changes Eckler's role meaningfully, to be honest. Like I think he was going to be the passing downs guy. He was going to play on 50% of the snaps. To me, whether it's Brian Robinson or Bill, it doesn't impact his position to me.
It might be the kiss of death on this because I put Marvin Mims on here and he immediately gets a groin injury.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
It seems like it's very minor. So I had Mims. Brian has Luther Burden, and Anthony has Tucker Kraft. I'm so glad that I was the one who made this PowerPoint because I would have no idea who fucking 87 on the Bears is.
You don't watch the preseason?
No, I do not watch. I watch the Giants.
Okay, that doesn't change during the regular season either, though. Talk to me about the bull case for Mims. Is it simply just preseason usage and a guy that could you just get there the same way Shaheed can?
Yeah, I mean, like he played 60% of snaps last year and had pretty crazy efficiency. So even if he loses some efficiency, it seems like he's going to be out there all the time. Take that bet every time in the 10th round.
Yeah, I mean he's played 100% of the snaps.
Maybe that's why he got a groin injury.
Yeah, maybe
a little tired.
He's a fun player to watch. He's kind of used as like a gadget guy the last couple of years, especially last year. They put him in the backfield a lot. I think now that they got Harvey and they signed Dobbins, they're going to do less of like the stupid gadgety Joker stuff and just let him play as the number 2 with Sutton. And I think it's a good role for him. I think he kind of opens up the field a little bit more, gives them some like explosive play opportunities. And I think he's another one, just a pretty good football player.
Yeah. And you had Luther Burden. We kind of hit on that, but give an abridged version.
Yeah, I mean, Burden's profile is he's just a guy that you want on your team. He's an explosive player. I think he should have gone in the first round, but there was some noise that allowed him to fall into the second round. Like I'm not concerned at all about Burden. I've seen people say like, "Oh, Olamide Zaccheaus has the wide receiver 3 position." Like, okay, sure. Talk to me in week 5 when Burden, kicks Olamide Zaccheaus off the team. The only thing I'm concerned about with Burden is more so Caleb Williams being a guy that can support Burden, because the Bears have been, like I said, the toughest click for me. Burden just being the cheapest and a guy I like is who I would take, just simply because it's the cheapest and just happens to be the guy I like the most. So yeah, I love Burden. I try to leave every draft with him if I can.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the Dolphins, where the biggest risk is more systemic risk than anything like any individual player. But he's fine in the 10th round. I have a good amount of him.
Yeah.
And Anthony has Tucker Kraft. I mean, I like the Packers. I think they're gonna. Let's make this pick, and then I'll finish that thought. Like Torrey
Horton.
But we don't really need a receiver. I think Woody Marks is the play here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Who's available at tight end? Because there's a cliff, I think. I think we're still. We could probably push Theo. I think everyone else.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared of Theo. I guess we can. He hasn't practiced in like 3 weeks.
I thought he practiced today. I could be wrong on that.
He was not practicing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's. Here's the thing, right? We have Trey McBride by week 8. We need Theo Johnson by week 8. Like, yeah, I think he'll be okay. I'm more inclined to take Theo on I don't know. I feel like it just has to cap his upside a little bit by missing so much of camp with a hamstring.
Yeah, but they don't really have anyone they like as like that tight end 1 role. He has that role locked up. It's not a matter of losing the job. It's just a matter of if he's efficient when he comes back.
Yeah, we could always take a backup tight end. That was a joke. Shout out to Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Big news. Congrats to them. That's very important. Theo, we're just gonna do it.
Theo or Fannin?
I have no Fannin. I have so much Theo. So
you want to diversify?
We could do like Flacco.
Take Fannin and Flacco.
All right, this is disgusting. This is
This is fine, and we already have Judy, so this is a double.
All right. I agree. Burden is being slept on a little bit. In my opinion, he's probably going to be a much better real-life player than fantasy producer, at least in his current situation. If Burden repeated his sophomore year, he would have been the best wide receiver prospect.
But to me, Burden, it's not a matter of Burden not repeating his sophomore year. It's Burden's quarterback just completely regressing and being unusable in that offense. To me, Burden didn't fall off at all. It was just a product of his horrible offensive play, which, to be fair, could very well happen this year in the NFL. I don't know. I love Burden. I love the profile. He was one of my favorite receivers in the draft. He was actually my number 3 in the draft, pre-draft process. So I'm just going to keep taking him because I don't think the price has caught up to what his potential could be.
All right, round 11. This is there's no bigger red flag than our 3 loves all being the same player in Tootin. I'm not gonna lie, I was in on Tootin. This scared me a little bit.
Me too. I was when you said you were in on Tootin, because Anthony and I typically go for the same players, but you being in on Tootin actually made me reevaluate if I'm thinking about this correctly. Because here's the bull case. Tootin is a very similar bet to me as Bucky Irving was and Chase Brown was last year. You got a guy you go into this murky situation where even with the Jags this year, it's slightly more favorable for Tootin because it's a new regime there, new offensive coordinator, new coach. They handpicked Tootin the first opportunity that they had, being in their first draft as new OC, GM and head coach, in a situation where the incumbent there, not efficient. Tootin, explosive player, good pass catcher, decent pass protector. I want to try to be objective because I don't want to just look at this through tunnel vision, but I just don't see a world, if Tootin is healthy, how he doesn't just totally take that job by week 8 or 9 this year.
Yeah, pretty. I don't know. I feel like that's bold. I mean, there's just a chance he's kind of just a gadget player, but there's if he's good, he's gonna fucking smash this ADP. So whatever. I take him every time.
Yeah, I agree.
DJ Moore, Dunze, Loveland on a Bears offense. I don't know. I almost want to avoid all these guys and the situation. Way too many mouths to feed with a very unproven quarterback. How good of a prospect he is aside. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying with like the systemic risk being more of a risk than like any of those individual players.
My counter to that, and thank you, JD, for the comment, is like DJ Moore and Adunze are guys where like they're relatively expensive. Like they're like DJ Moore, a 4th round pick, Adunze like a 5-6 turn guy. Loveland as like tight end 7 or 8. Burden is like a 10th round lottery ticket, and if he hits with his like the way his prospect profile is, it's not going to be a guy that has like that is like the wide receiver 30 like in a week. Like he's going to be he's going to have, I think he could have like 20 point week performances multiple times as the season progresses. And you just in general want to bet on rookies that you think will produce in the back half of the season, because that's where the money's won.
Do we want to do the Flacco experience?
Yeah, let's do Flacco.
Let's do the Flacco experience.
I don't hate that team at all, by the way.
All right, round 12. I have Eckler, Brian has Goddard, and Anthony has Javonte Williams.
Oh, I'm glad you knew who that was.
I only knew because I made the PowerPoint.
All right, talk to me about Eckler. I touched a bit on my bear, not even bear case, but just not a bull case. What do you like about it?
I mean, the guy who got the most rushing attempts on the team's gone. I'm not convinced on JCM yet, on Bill. Not fully convinced. I think Eckler's role got a little bit stronger. Not a ton stronger, but I mean, I thought he was underpriced all offseason anyway, so I was clicking him before the Brian Robinson news, so it's just a even more of a smash now with Brian Robinson gone.
Yeah, if you were bullish on him prior to this, I can understand like, oh, they ship out the number 1 guy, they bring in this 7th round rookie who supposedly just like took the job from the incumbent. I can understand why you would be bullish on him taking a larger role in the offense this year.
Goddard
to me is just a bet on contingent, like just a contingent bet. We talked a lot about it in the BRs last year, but like when Devonta Smith and or AJ Brown don't play, Goddard is going to project for like 13 points, which I know does not sound like a lot, but for a tight end position that you're getting in round 12 on a good offense, I mean, tell me a more condensed offense, maybe besides the Bengals, than like AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert from a pass catching perspective. Like there's probably not much. So I'm going to bet on the offense. I think the offense regresses a little bit more towards the mean in terms of like total pass volume, and Goddard has high contingent upside if either of the receivers miss.
The answer is the Rams, by the way.
Okay, sure. I'll give you the Rams.
And then Anthony, I'll give the bull case because I am kind of bullish on Devontae. I mean, he's just gonna be the starting running back. And,
yeah, week 1.
Think about it this way: like if this was 3 years ago, Javonte would be going like round 5. It's the same bet, just 7 rounds later. Like, yeah, maybe he's not that good. Maybe there's guys behind him, but like you're gonna get a few weeks of Javonte being the running back 1, and he might just keep the job. There's a chance of that. There's like less than 50%, but there's a chance.
I don't know.
It's not like they brought in world beaters. They have a 5th round rookie and Miles fucking Sanders
and Phil Maffa. Yeah, I know. It's not a good situation at all. To me, like we talk. One of my rules, or one of my takeaways last year was, like you want to target those murky backfields because there's just upside there if you hit who the guy is. I'm not listening to myself because
I was going to say you want to do it until you have to because it's ugly.
I cannot take Javonte. I'll take Jaden Blue. I'll take Miles Sanders. I can't take Javonte. I've seen it 4 years in a row. He hasn't been the same since that nasty knee injury he had a few years ago. I just can't get myself to click him. I don't think I flicked him once.
Like, I think this is sarcasm, but like I think this is actually possible.
No shot.
If he just has the goal line roll all year, the Cowboys' offense is going to be good.
The Cowboys' passing offense is going to be good.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Ferguson over Goddard in a vacuum, give me Ertz. I think I agree with that in general.
I can see why you would say that. Ferguson to me is like the clear 3rd on the pecking order, and we've seen Goddard have upside. I don't like Ferguson. I think would just have to be lucky in the total number of touchdowns scored. Ertz, I understand if you want over Goddard, that I'm okay with.
Round 13, I had Dobbs. If you watch us all off season, like I was just always, he's like kind of like Shaheed, where he's just going to play all the time. He projects well no matter what you do to his target shares and shit. Like he's just a solid player in round 13.
He's he's a guy that's going to run 90% of the routes in round 13.
Brian had Bryce Young. Did you
watch? Man,
did you watch Pete's video today of the truth serum?
No.
I forget who it was. I want to give to go watch Pete's video. I forget who said it, but he said that Bryce Young fooled everyone, like with his stats last year, that like he actually wasn't that good. Like his advanced stats were bad. He just ran so hot on touchdowns at the end of the year. So like everyone kind of just assumed he was like a lot better, but he really wasn't. That's the first time I've heard that, which is a little scary, but
first time I've heard it too. Here's the case for Bryce Young. Like he's going as like the quarterback 28. Unless he gets benched or just like really it gets like 12 points a game. Like he's almost assuredly going to be paying off that ADP. They invest in that in the offensive line. They re-sign Chuba, bring in Dowdle, draft Tetaroa McMillan with the 8th pick overall in the draft. Like they did a lot to improve this offense. I'm just bullish on the offense in general. I think Bryce is going to take a leap. He has some rushing upside that people for some reason are not really pricing in. Like sure, he ran hot. He may have ran hot on touchdowns last year, but he also plays in a division that has really bad defense. The Falcons, the Bucks, like these are teams that you want to be targeting. So to me, the opportunity cost of picking a round 13 starting quarterback with rushing upside on a team that has a lot of young, exciting players, like I'll take that swing almost every time.
Yeah, I would assume that the argument for Ward and Ridley, as Anthony has Ward here, is going to be kind of the same thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think I agree with you. Like he's probably a better pick than his ADP, especially with the quarterbacks pushed up. But I wouldn't put him on a love list.
Oh, he's a love, especially in round 13.
That guy just read off. Oh, got a hot take. That guy just read off a bunch of stats and said literally 0 on his take on how he looked on film. I cannot stand the takes that are 100% based on some deep stat bullshit. Well, JD, boy, do I have something to say. You are not going to like me.
No, but you will like me because I actually watched the players. Who did Anthony have? We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I said he had Cam Ward. I think it's kind of the same thing as Bryce, where like you're expecting like a decent offense. They have some good young receivers. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. He's the most under-talked about quarterback one of a draft class ever. So
it does feel that. Well, you know what? Because he went to Tennessee. Like who cares about Tennessee?
Miami.
Yeah, I like it.
Round 14, I had Rachaad White. You're gonna hate that one. I know that.
Well, it's bullish on the Bucks offense, like Bucks rushing offense.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, like as I said, kind of jokingly earlier, like Bucky's only gonna get 50% of snaps, which is kind of a joke, but I mean he's not gonna get 100, so there's a role for Rachaad White. Sean Tucker is not good. Whoever's typing in the chat right now, do not say Sean Tucker is good. He's not. Delete it. And then you had Deontay Thornton.
Yeah, Dante Thornton. He's a guy that's another one, like probably like a top 6 guy in the like top 6 rookie that's performing based on what the beat reporters have been saying. Like it says something to come in as a lower drafted rookie than Jack Besh, who I was never a fan of, and being able to take on that role. He's the starting number 2 receiver for the Raiders, and like it or not, people are high on the Raiders, and if you the market at least is, and if you counter that, like Genty and Bowers are going in the top 20. Like there's only like 2 other teams, and it would be the Lions and the Bengals who have similar players going in that range. So I like Dante Thornton. He's a guy that, similar to Shaheed, is just a big play guy. He's a deep threat. He's quick, and I can see him kind of elevating this offense a bit by opening up downfield.
Brian, I told you they weren't going to like this one. Did you just say Sean Tucker isn't good?
I don't know if you saw my face when you said that, but it was a similar reaction to JD's comment, but I was going to let it slide.
I mean, like, not to do the Sean Tucker thing, but we're going to do the Sean Tucker thing.
No, don't
how
do
many times have we seen a guy get like 7 carries, have like 6 yards per carry, and then get like more than that and just suck? Like, whatever. He might be good. There's a chance he's good. He's probably not that good.
I think you're just a little butthurt that he had 3 touchdowns and like 400 yards against the Giants last year.
We're not going to talk about that. Anthony had Nick Chubb.
Oh, worst pick on the board.
No, I don't know about that.
I can't. You have to defend this one because I can't.
I mean, like, he's shown he can handle a big workload. He's 2 years removed from that knee injury.
He had another knee injury last season.
What was it? Did he have surgery?
I think he had a broken leg.
No, that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
No, he tore his ACL 2 years ago and broke his, and I think it was a broken knee this past season. 2 years in a row he's had.
I mean, either way, it's pretty clear they want him to be like their between the 20s guy. So like, I don't know. Like, are you fading because of Dameon Pierce? Because of Woody Marks? Joe Mixon's dead, by the way. That's the real answer. Joe Mixon is not playing football this year.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
so I think he's fine in round 14. I have him more in the eliminator than BBM.
He's
fine.
He has nothing left to give to the game of football. It's just such an uninspiring pick. Like him and Javonte Williams, if you have him on the same team, like just push the plane and get a new one. Take JB Lou instead.
There's a time and a place though. Like if you have a bunch of young rookies, just take Nick Chubb.
No. It's never a time or place to take Chubb. I'll if Chubb beats me this year, and that's why I'm okay with it.
All right, round 15. Is that Jalen Coker?
No, that is Rico Dowdle.
Rico. See it. That's unfortunate. Rico Dowdle, Jalen Coker, also a good pick, by the way. I did this before the trade news, so I would have put him there, whatever round he was in. Oh, we have him. And then Brian Anthony had Isaac Tesla. I mean, Rico Dowdle, it's the same thing as Rachaad White. He's going to get like 40% of snaps, be moderately efficient, not that great, and just hope Chuba gets hurt.
It's an upside on a contingency bet for a running back that we've seen have the ability to have 1,000 yards.
I had to stop you. I had to go into this. Sean Tucker is basically Keaton Mitchell, but goes later. Well, Keaton Mitchell is undraftable, so that doesn't help me.
There's similar bets in a way, like Sean Tucker and Keaton Mitchell, like because neither of them to me are going to take 80% of the snaps or get 80% of the workload because they have a guy in either Rachaad White or Justice Hill who the team loves that's good at passing downs work. Like you don't like Sean Tucker and Keaton Mitchell to me, they're not undraftable, but they're also not inspiring picks because even if you're right, you're still not going to get either of them projecting for more than like 10 points a week because they will share a backfield with the other person.
Let me share my ball knowledge here. Keaton is Henry's backup. He's not going to have a role if Henry's healthy. Same thing with Sean Tucker. If Bucky's healthy, he's the backup to Bucky. He's not going to have a role without Bucky hurt.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll say, JD, is that like the team may like Tucker more than White. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I think Tucker has shown the ability or the inability to be as good of a pass catcher as Rachaad White. And I think with what they use Bucky for is going to be like a grinder between the 20s, like in between the tackles. That's kind of Bucky's game, not so much a receiving back. Although he did almost have nearly 50 catches last season. So maybe that improves a bit. But I just think Rachaad White is the passing downs guy. And he's pretty good at it. He's not an efficient runner. Can't really see the holes well, but get the ball to him in space. And he's not a bad player.
Yeah, and then you had Tesla, and Anthony had Tesla as well.
It's hard not to like this guy. It really is. He's been awesome in the preseason. Again, like what I've learned this year in the preseason is to listen to what the team tells you. The team traded Tim Patrick, who by all accounts was going to be the wide receiver 3 on the Lions depth chart this year. I think it's probably now going to be Tesla, and we've seen what he can do. He looks like he's an explosive. He's a big receiver. I think he gives I think he complements JMO really well. And I think this is just bullish in general for an offense that we've all been high on for years now in the Lions. And I think if anything, as the season progresses, I would expect his role to get even bigger. Plus, not that you want to draft receivers you want to draft contingent receivers, but even if he's out there for like 60% of the snaps, if something does happen to Amon-Ra or JMO, like this guy is going to be an absolute smash where he goes in BRs next year.
Yeah, I said early in the BBM drafting season that like I thought he was a good pick. Like I said, the Lions traded up for him, 3rd round pick. Like Kyle Williams was a 3rd round pick. He was going like the 12th round. Like there was no reason for him to be like largely undrafted. But unfortunately, I respected the market too much, and I only have a little bit of him. But I do think it's a good pick.
Yeah,
I will chase him up too.
Yeah, Tesla is a guy that you should be taking. Like I would say through like I'm comfortable taking him through round 13.
Yeah. I have Slayton in round 16. I've talked about it a ton. He's going to be running 100% of routes. I'm a biased Giants fan. I mean, I think the Giants offense is going to be better this year. So it just seems like an easy pick. Most of my picks of him, I have like 30 something percent of him, and it's all pretty much 17 and 18. So I still think he's fine around 16 though.
Yeah. Another just the common theme that I'm seeing here is like these, you want these receivers, especially late in drafts, that just offer this weekly upside with little volume, that are going to be out there for a majority of the plays. Like that's really what a lot of these bets are. So Linton Martingale, what could go wrong?
Yeah. I had so much Slayton last year too.
Yeah, so it was tough being a Giants fan last year. But Anthony and I both have the aforementioned Coker, Jalen Coker. This is similar to my bet with Bryce Young. I think again, this team has a lot of young, exciting players on offense. They drafted Tet. I think with what happened with Leggett in the preseason game where he got ejected in the first quarter, like 2 minutes into the game, that opened up things for Coker. Coker's also had a pretty impressive camp by all reports by the beat writers, and he's another one that's just a kind of an explosive, jittery player that I want on my team. And he's free. Round 16, like, okay, sure.
He's going to be pushed up quickly, but I'll chase him up too. He's fine.
The contest locks in like 2 days. So
around 17, I had DJ Giddens. I mean, he's just clearly the running back 2 behind John Miller. And I was talking about it earlier today too, that like I'm not picking Jonathan Taylor. I don't think he's that bad of a pick, but like I just think DJ Giddens is such a good pick in round 17 and 18 that like it's hard to pick Jonathan Taylor if you just always want to take Giddens at the end, you know?
Yeah, I get it. And I like Giddens is one of the few running back, not I don't want to say few, but in like from rounds like 13 to 18 in the current ADP, like he's one of the few running backs that I actually liked a lot pre-draft. So like Jonathan Taylor is not exactly a clean bill of health. I know how we feel about injury proneness and such, but Giddens is a guy that I think will project for probably like 75 to 80% of what JT would project for in a given week. I don't know how I feel about Daniel Jones being the starting quarterback, if that's good or bad. People just seem to think universally it's good, but I'm still kind of on the fence.
And Brian, you had JT Sanders.
JT Sanders, again, I didn't realize I had so many Panthers, but at least I'm consistent.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm consistent in my takes. JT Sanders is a guy that like really started to come on last year before he got hurt. He's an athletic freak, which is really important for the tight end position, as we talked about a couple months back, as one of the most important indicating factors to predict future success. And again, I just think this offense is primed. Like they're all just so cheap. Like the starting running back goes in the 5th round. The wide receiver 1, who was 8th overall, goes at the 3-4 turn. And then you have like this big block of like 9 rounds between the next pick on the team. They traded away Thielen. That opens up more targets for both Coker and Sanders. I'm just going to keep clicking the guy that the team tells me they like.
I'm totally bag holding in Dynasty, but I find it hard to believe Coker outplays Leggett. I feel like the market is wrong taking Coker over him. I don't know. I have no ball takes, so that's possible.
Coker, I think, is a bit more explosive than Leggett. I think Leggett is more of that like short area, not as fast player. Like Coker, I think if he hits, has higher upside than Leggett. And in best ball, that's to me what matters more.
Brian Panthers backstacking, bro. Respect. And then Anthony had Daniel Jones. Anthony, I'm sorry, buddy. I can't defend this one for you. Fuck Daniel Jones. We're just gonna move on. And then round 18. I had Theo Johnson. I put him on here before I saw he didn't practice again today. Like I said, I'm a little concerned. I think he still has pretty good upside, but yeah, I don't know. We talked about enough Giants today. Brian, you had Dameon Pierce? Huh?
Dameon Pierce. Yeah. So people may or may not remember 2022, Dameon Pierce was a legit running back. And then the Texans just went totally downhill. And they hired Bobby Slowick as their offensive coordinator. Bobby Slowick, who famously run, pass, that is his offense. His run, the way Bobby Slowick ran his offense, like literally running the ball, not passing, he did a lot of outside zone runs. And Dameon Pierce, by all accounts, is one of the worst outside zone runners in NFL history. I mean, it's truly remarkable seeing him in the tackle, like comparing his rushes like in between the tackles versus outside zone. So with this new offensive coordinator, I'm expecting more of what fits his skill set. And I think he can beat out Nick Chubb. He's running with the ones on an offense that
No, he's not. I'm not letting you get away with that. No,
he is.
Not.
He's splitting carries with Chubb. That's what all beat reporters have been saying for months. He's full. He's back to being healthy. I think Dameon Pierce.
The big left wants you to think that he's splitting carries with Nick Chubb. He's not.
A guy that's probably drafted in 10% of the tournament that you can get in your last round pick as a potential first. Like all he has to do is beat out the dead body of Nick Chubb. Give me that guy. Sure.
See, the problem, you didn't play best ball in 2023 when Dameon Pierce was a 4th round pick. Like he's terrible.
No.
Is that a left guard, Gumby? No, that is not Evan Neal. That is not a funny joke. And Anthony had Elijah Arroyo. I was more into him like early when Noah Fant got cut, traded, whatever that was. But it seems like they don't want to use him a ton. He's probably going to play like 50% of snaps with room to improve, but I think he's okay. I think he's still good. Like if you have like 2 solid tight ends, like if you take like, I don't know, like Goddard and Ferguson, I would take him. I think that's fine, but I'm not really seeking him out anymore like I was.
I think AJ Barner's the tight end 1 there. So
well, he's a blocker though. Like it's not like he's going to go out there and catch 6 passes.
We'll see how they want to use him. New coaching staff. You don't know.
All right. We got 30 minutes to do the hates because I want to try and get on the bash for Pete's show. So we're going to, spoiler.
All right, here we go.
Here are the hates. See, this is another concerning one. All 3 of us hate Saquon Barkley. You guys are dumb. I hate Saquon Barkley because I hate him in real life. But I mean, like by all accounts, he's a good pick. I think it's kind of silly that we all had him there. I guess you have to pick someone in the top 6 to hate, but
that's what it is. It's addition by subtraction, and we talked about it when we were deciding between Gibbs and Barkley in our draft that we just did. Barkley's just a guy. He's not a pass catcher. He was uber efficient. Seven rushing touchdowns of 60 plus yards. Like you don't want to penalize a guy for doing that, but at the same time, you also have to understand like he should regress back. Like that shouldn't happen 6 times this year. Like if it happened half that, like okay, congratulations, you get a guy that I don't know. I think the Eagles offense is going to pass more than they did last year. Barkley didn't have any injuries. It was a pure season for them. Like we're drafting him at his 99th percent outcome, and to me, that's just not who I want to be targeting here.
I don't know. The easy argument is he's super efficient because he's really good at football and got tackled at the 1 a ton. I don't want to give a bull case for Saquon because I fucking hate him. So I'm going to stop myself there and we're going to move on. From 7 to 12, I had Nico, Brian had BTJ, and Anthony had Amon-Ra. Pretty diverse range here.
Yeah.
I just think there's systemic risk with the Texans offense. Like maybe Stroud isn't as good as we thought he was his rookie year. I don't think he's bad. I don't know. I just don't think he's that elite. I think Nico Collins is really, really good, but like the back end of the first round is really strong. Like I like Neighbors a lot more. I like BTJ more. I like CMC more. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't want to take him over anyone.
That's crazy. I can't. When I saw that after I was filling out or loves and hates, like I thought you meant to put Nico on your love list. I almost texted you and be like, "Are you sure that's not wrong?" I don't know, man. Nico is another guy that just for best ball scoring. How many times have you seen this guy go like 7 for 170 and 2? Like to me, he has like upside that only Jamar Chase has on a week. Maybe Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb from the receivers. I guess Neighbors does too, but like it's less frequent than I think what Nico will be. I don't know. I could just see Nico asserting himself as like a top 3 wide receiver this year, and like to me, all things are setting up great for it. Like they brought in a new offensive coordinator. They made some changes to the offensive line. They're what are you laughing at?
I'm just reading the chat. Sorry.
Like they don't have a robust running game. Like their defense is not that good.
Yeah, the Loves are on top and the green, the Reds are hating the bottom.
Yes. I don't know. Nico is a scary one to hate. I hope you have at least like 5% of him.
You won't ban me again. No, I won't. BTJ. Why do you hate BTJ? Are you? Oh, because you're a Travis Hunter guy. Is it
well, no. It's a more systemic bet again. Like, sure, like okay, they took Travis Hunter 2 overall. by all accounts, he's going to play a majority of the offensive snaps. That will inherently cut into the pie of Brian Thomas Jr., I would imagine. We still haven't seen Trevor Lawrence be elite yet. It's like when Brian Thomas broke out, it was with Mac Jones. People forget Trevor Lawrence did not play the last 7 weeks of the season. To me, it's more of a bet against Trevor Lawrence. Like, I want to bet on guys in good offenses with my first round pick back in the draft. And Brian Thomas is a great player. I loved him last year. Every week, I begged us to take him on the BR slates every week for those that have been here for a year. But at the 1-2 turn, it's expensive and it comes with risk. And I don't want risk with my first round pick.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, you got to pick someone back here. And then Anthony had Amon-Ra. I'm not really sure about that one.
Well, I think he's bullish on Tesla. And and he likes JMO. So, like, again, if you're playing the long game, like somebody like if he thinks Tesla's going to be good, he's going to eat into either Amon-Ra or JMO's target share, and I guess that's why he has to pick somebody there.
All right, let's see round 2. I kind of forgot what we picked, so it's kind of exciting. I had H-N and you both had Genty. H-N, like my thing with H-N, I didn't pick him all season. He got hurt. Definitely wasn't going to pick him when he had a calf injury. I think he's healthy now. Still hasn't changed much. I don't like him. What if he was just super outlier efficient his rookie year and he's just not that good?
But he was.
I don't know.
Even if he wasn't efficient last year by any means. Nobody on the Dolphins was other than Jonnu Smith. He was still a top 12 running back with upside.
Yeah, I get like he could just have like 100 catches and 200 carries and just crush me. But
yeah,
I'm okay. If he beats me, he beats me. I'm okay with it.
Other than CMC, what running back do you think is live for 250 carries and 100 catches? 100 targets, rather.
Gibbs.
Jokai Gibbs, sure. But no one else.
Yeah, probably.
To me, the three of them are in an elite tier just for that reason. For Anthony and I'll speak on behalf of him because I think we have a similar take. It's really scary to bet on bad offenses with your second round pick. This is not a bet against Genty the player. This is a bet against best ball and the scoring format. I think the Giants' defensive line is great. That's their Week 17 matchup. I think they're going to struggle to move the ball against them. We've seen historically rookie running backs with Bijan Robinson last year or 2 years ago as a rookie, like goes in like the first round, early second, and just disappoints. It's not a bet against the player. It's just the expectations of him having to hit are astronomical, and I just think it's a pretty thin bet.
Yeah, I think that's fair overall. We call it Garrett Wilson in round 3. We're drinking Kool-Aid.
I can go.
All right, go ahead.
Garrett Wilson is one of the worst picks on the board. He was the worst pick on the board last year. I literally had to go see a doctor when I saw that he was like the 8th overall pick in our last year in best ball. He's now playing with a rushing quarterback who has looked absolutely dreadful this preseason. He has very limited touchdown upside. I just don't understand what people see in this guy. Like, you're just going to keep giving him your hard-earned money. Like, the most overpaid receiver for doing nothing for a franchise other than just score garbage time touchdowns and have meaningless stat sheet yards. I mean, this guy is not good. He was not getting he was getting less targets than Devontae Adams, who's 31 years old. This guy is supposed to be in the prime of his life, and he's just not a good player. He's a bad player on a bad team, and anyone that takes Garrett Wilson honestly should just consider resigning.
It's going to be a tough act to follow. I have nothing further. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Round 4, me and Anthony had Brees, and is that Cortland Sutton? Cortland Sutton for Brian. Oh, also, you have to agree to this. Garrett Wilson, top 5 wide receiver, and Brian will have to do the Hot Ones challenge on stream.
Charles, you could add a 0 to that after the 5, and I would take that bet.
All right, talk to me about Sutton. I mean, let me go on Brees first. It's the same thing as Garrett Wilson. Like, he's not going to be the full-time running back 1. The offense is not going to be good. Justin Fields is going to take a lot of rushing attempts. No thanks.
See, I'm actually bullish on Brees.
That's crazy.
Funny enough, I think we've seen historically like running backs Done top 50. All right, great. Come back in a couple months. Check in to see how we're doing. But Brees Hall, rushing quarterbacks are, running backs with rushing quarterbacks, especially good ones, typically do better. Like their efficiency improves when playing with somebody like Justin Fields. If we're betting on Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis to take meaningful work away from Brees Hall, and that's the reason for the fall, I'm just going to take him when he falls.
Yeah. And then Sutton.
Sutton is just an uninspiring pick to me. I'm not that I'm high, I'm low on the Broncos offense, but he's just not a guy that I'm excited to take. Offers limited upside to me. Especially like I love the play a lot of players around him. So it's not that I'm low on him, it's just that I'm higher on others.
Yeah, he just gets 1,000 yards quietly every year, so
yep.
Not that exciting.
Go to James Conner.
Round 5, I had Ricky Pearsall. That was a jump scare when I saw he was going in the 5th round. He just never shows up on my screen. He's ranked like 90 on my ranks. Like I'm good. Who was that? DK, and then Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, DK.
Ricky P. No thanks.
DK again, just not a bet on the offense. I don't trust Arthur Smith with my money. I don't trust Aaron Rodgers with my life. I'm just not going to take a guy. I don't really like Metcalf to begin with. When you throw in Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, I'm good. I don't think I've taken him once.
And then Kenneth Walker. I'm guessing Anthony just really thinks Charbonnet. For some reason, people think this is the year Charbonnet is going to split work with Kenneth Walker when he's healthy, and it just never is. So I don't know. That coach, Mike McDonald, loves Charbonnet, and so does the OC. So I could see Charbonnet having a big year this year. I'll die on that hill. If I lose top 50, I will fund a 50-50 split Dalmatian next year.
And you know what, Charles? We'll do it on stream next year.
Yeah.
Book it.
All right. Round 6. DeAndre Swift, me and Anthony, that's like the clear pick. Do I even have to say why? The guy sucks. They're going to do everything in their power to not hand him the ball 20 times a game. He's never been liked on his team. He's never been good. Saquon Barkley just rushed for 2,000 yards with the Eagles, and DeAndre Swift had 3 yards per carry on that team. No thanks.
Yeah, Swift is another uninspiring pick. I would go against. I think Diggs to me is the worst pick here. 32-year-old receiver coming off of a torn ACL, who when he was playing last year prior to the injury was not good. I don't know if you remember, week 1 he lucked into 2 touchdowns. I think he had 3 catches, 17 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Somehow people, I understand why people like Drake May. He's a very talented player, but all the Patriots players are overpriced because we're trying to elevate May with his supporting cast. His supporting cast is just not that good. I'm not going to take a round 6 Stephon Diggs coming off of a torn ACL who's 32. I'll find other players to take in that round.
Yeah. Round 7, 2 Caleb Johnsons, and is that Jordan?
That is Jordan Mason. Yes.
Caleb Johnson. I see. This is a tough one because he's not really going in round 7. So, I would probably take him in round 9, but the opportunity cost around 7 is too much. I think he'll probably take over the backfield for the most part at some point, but I don't know. He might just not be good.
I think he's just awful.
Yeah, that's possible.
He was my biggest fade pre-draft process. People for some reason they were right on this, expected him to go to the Steelers. He does kind of fit that mold, a shitty, slow running back. That's kind of what he is. And the reports out of the camp have been he's awful in pass pro. Mike Tomlin will not, and Arthur Smith will not stand for that. They like Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren has shown that he is good in pass protection. So, and all accounts that I've seen so far have been that Jaylen Warren has been running with the ones, and Caleb Johnson is struggling to even get on the field. So, a guy that I'm not high on offers really no explosiveness on an offense that I couldn't be lower on. What's the benefit of taking him in round 7?
Yeah, and Anthony had Jordan Mason. If we did this a month ago, Jordan Mason would have been on my list. I just think he gets more work than people think. I guess everyone knew this except for me for some reason because I have 0%, and I think it's at this point I'm just going to take 0% and just hope he gets hurt or something. And I don't know. I'm not going to chase it up.
Jordan Mason goes in that range every year where there's usually a clear tier of 2 or 3 guys, and unfortunately Charbonnet is in this tier of running back. I don't even know, 26, 27. These guys that go in round 7, 8, 9 are typically the worst picks every year. So Mason and Charbonnet both fall into that tier based on what the data has suggested. Mason is a fine player, doesn't offer much upside to me. He'll probably have the goal line role, so I guess that is a bit of upside. But unless Jones gets hurt, he's not going to be on the field for more than 50% of snaps, and he's not a pass catcher, so they're not going to use him in that regard. So that to me limits his upside.
Yep. Round 8, Baker. Brian had Bo Nix, and Anthony had Jalen Warren. For Baker, I don't think Baker's a horrible pick if you have a buck, but it's always tough for me to pick him because I just think he goes too early. He's pushed up because he had a ton of touchdowns last year. If he had a little bit less touchdowns, he'd probably be going in round 11, which is where he should be. But it's like I want to have 0 Baker with my Bucks, so I take him. I always feel gross about it.
I love their playoff schedule. Is just all you need to remind yourself of: Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins. That's all you need to know.
Fair.
Minus Bo Nix. Yeah, minus Bo Nix. Nothing against the player. He's been mispriced all offseason for some reason. I don't understand why him and Baker are going similar ADPs next to each other. I never understood. Okay, Bo Nix has some rushing upside. Whoop-de-doo. It's nothing that to me sets him apart from other very high end pocket passers. So to me, he's a bit overpriced. I think Cortland Sutton is a bit overpriced. This whole courtroom is out of order, and I'm just good to pass on him this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's fine. The sophomore bump of coke. I think he'll be okay. And Anthony had Jalen Warren. I think he's fine. I wouldn't put him on the 8 list. He'll like I said, he'll lose work as the year goes on, but
yeah,
he's fine. Round 9, Travis Etienne. I have 0 Etienne. I'm a little bit more scared of that now than I was a few weeks ago, but I don't know. I just don't think he's that good. They picked a running back. They used Bigsby over him last year. I don't know. I think he hasn't budged at all. He's still going a pick 100. No,
he's live to be a 0 after halfway through the season. To me,
it's trade risk too.
Trade risk, which honestly might be good for him to improve his value depending on the landing spot. But yeah, Etienne is a guy that we're all out on.
Godwin, I think that's an easy one.
Godwin we talked about. It's just every month it just seems like it's getting worse and worse for his. Then they keep pushing his return back. I'm high on Egbuka. We talked about before, so no need to reiterate the point.
Yep, and then Mooney for Anthony.
Mooney, I actually like Mooney the player, but he had a shoulder injury a couple weeks ago, and Raheem Morris was very coy about oh yeah, he'll play sometime this year. When a coach says he'll play sometime this year, that to me is enough to be off of a player for a while, because Joe Mixon was going to play this year. Now I'm less. Now I'd put the odds at 50-50 of Mixon even playing a single snap this season. So you don't want to chase injury. You don't want to chase injuries. I understand and agree with Anthony's pick here.
And then this was the free square. We all had Joe Mixon. It's hard because he's not really going around 10, but I just wanted to say I wouldn't pick him no matter where he's going. I wouldn't pick him in the 18th round. I wouldn't pick him in the 20th round in DraftKings. I just think he's more likely to not play than to play this year. So,
yep. Nothing else to say there.
For this one, I had Ramondre Stevenson, the worst running back in the league. No thanks. Yes, he might start he might start getting some snaps, but he's just going to lose it so quick. He sucks. Fumbling problem.
Yeah, I think he'll get more work than you expect early on. But I guess we'll see. I think it all is about how good Henderson is.
Todd Bowles notoriously never lies, by the way.
There was also a report that came out a few weeks ago that said he was targeting an October return. So do with that information what you will.
You would think Bigsby?
Yeah, just being consistent. I think Bigsby again offers no upside in the passing game. He had a better year last year than he did 2 years ago, where he was the worst running back in the league. New offensive coordinator, new head coach. What's the first thing they do? Draft probably the most explosive running back in the draft. I'm going to bet on Tootin. Bigsby, to me, offers really nothing with no pass catching upside.
Yeah, I think in my head, I just have Etienne getting nothing, so I still think Bigsby is fine. And Anthony has Keenan Allen. I guess he just thinks he's old and washed, which may be fair. I'm out on Keenan Allen just because I'm morally opposed to ETR having him projected in round 18, and then he signs with the team everyone who was going to sign with, and then they put him as 100 spots earlier. So no thanks. I'm morally opposed.
Agreed.
Round 12, I had Ray Davis. This is easy. He's He's just the most expensive handcuff that has like pretty much no role unless James Cook is hurt. I don't know. He's one of those. He's like Sean Tucker. People love him for some reason. He's just not that good.
He is good. You may not think he has a role. You should either hate Ray Davis or love James Cook, because to me you can't dislike both.
I just love Josh Allen.
Okay, there's a leak there. Mine is Javonte. We've seen this guy just be awful year after year after year. He has not looked the same since he had his knee injury 3 seasons ago. They couldn't ship him out of Denver fast enough. They draft a rookie running back. They sign Miles Sanders. Like, what else did the Cowboys need to do to show you that they don't believe in this guy more than what they've done on a guy that we haven't seen look good for almost half a century or half a decade? Feels like half a century. I'm good on Javonte.
All they've done is made him the running back one. That's all. I had Kyle Williams. I kind of touched on it earlier, where like 3rd round rookie. He's just going so early for no reason. It's just the ship chasing effect. I just love Patriots. I really think that's why he's pushed up so much.
Me too.
You had Hollywood? Is that Hollywood?
That's Hollywood. Yeah, good call. I
made the PowerPoint, so
nice. Just a guy that, like, to me doesn't offer much. Like, he, again, another very uninspiring pick. To me, doesn't have much upside. Not much of a deep threat. They drafted Royals, who I do like. I mean, maybe early season with Rice suspended now for 6 games. Like, okay, you could justify it in depending on the contest. But in BBM, to me, like, Hollywood is pretty live to be a 0 when it matters the most. So that's just a guy that I'm trying to avoid.
It was an extremely small sample, but his target share was like really, really high when was it Rashee Rice was hurt and someone else was hurt. So I don't know. Yep. I'll mix them in. I'll mix it in Hollywood.
Enjoy the 4 for 20.
Yeah, that's possible. Anthony has Jaden Blue. Is that Jaden Blue?
That is Jaden Blue.
Okay. That's silly. That's Anthony. You don't know ball, my friend.
I think he's more disagreeing with the player than what the potential outcome of that player could do. Like, he could be bad and still be paying off in the 13th round in a murky running back room. So I also disagree with this one. And
if he's good, he's fucking smashing. So
agree.
I had Dante Thornton for no reason other than I have none of him, and he just keeps rising. I have none. He's rising. I'm not going to click a player that I don't have any reason to pick if he's just rising.
Well, the reason to pick him is because he's locked in as the number 2 receiver on the team. Like, the team has said that. So you want to take a receiver that's going to be on the field for most of the snaps, generally.
Bad offense. Can't draft him. You had Nick Chubb.
Chubb, who I've said
talked about that. Yeah.
Worst pick on the board. We'll move on. We go back and watch why I hate him in Anthony's love list.
And then Anthony had Najee Spears. I think he might be. He's still not weight bearing. He might be on track for a tightrope. To be honest, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, I already put him on the IR for 4 weeks. Not a good start.
Yep. Round 15, I had Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford's bad. No thanks. He's just bad.
He offers high upside. Could be he's the starting running back on the team this year. So do with that what you will.
That's the first time anyone's ever used high upside to describe Jerome Ford. Who'd you have?
Player. I had Pat Bryant, a guy that people for some reason kind of fell in love with. I never saw anything special about his game. I think it's going to be a crowded receiver room in Denver. I guess I'm low on Denver because I had Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, and Bo Nix on my hate list. So kind of indirect, but I think it's more just about the cost.
And then Anthony had K. Dotton. I'm more into the hate for K. Dotton now that he has a hamstring injury, but I think he's still fine around 15 or 16.
Yeah, high upside on a good offense with a great playoff schedule.
On 16, we both had Keaton Mitchell.
The aforementioned.
Yeah. No thanks. No thanks on Keaton. I just don't think what's the ceiling? 8 carries? No, I don't know. I mean, he has no role if Henry's healthy. He's not going to get pass catching because Justice Hill is just that dude. No, I'm good.
Totally agree. People are falling in love with the player, but not the outcome.
Troy Franklin. I've never seen the guy play, so I have no take on Troy Franklin.
I'm not too familiar with his game, so I'll also leave that to Anthony to defend when he gets back.
Charles likes Franklin though.
I trust Charles. I should look into Franklin more.
Me and Anthony both had Jalen Wright. it feels like they wanted him to be the backup running back all year last year, and they kind of he just wouldn't take it. He just wasn't good. He's already hurt. I don't know. No thanks.
Yeah, if he's not, I mean, he wasn't good in the preseason. He wasn't good last year. He was good in college, but that hasn't translated to the NFL. Now that he's hurt, Ollie Gordon's looked better. To me right now, if you're drafting, Jalen Wright is undraftable.
And you had Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is awful. It's only a matter of time before he loses the job. Quarterback is the one position you don't want to have a player that you draft at risk of ever being a zero. Daniel Jones is greater than 50% chance of being a zero in the money weeks. So avoid him at all costs.
And then round 18, I don't really like any of these guys. I just put Monangai because I think he's fine on like.
It's Roshan.
That's Roshan?
Yep.
Oh, that's my hate. Okay, I do hate Roshan. Roshan also sucks too. That's why I picked Monangai.
I'm not a Roshan guy myself. We talked about Arroyo. I just don't think he's going to have a role this year. He might be a decent player, but I never saw what people liked on film for him, and I think AJ Barner is fine.
And then you, Anthony, had Pierce. I don't know. You like Pierce. He's gonna be on the field, but
he'll be on the.
Daniel Jones has thrown like 4 deep balls in his 6 years in the NFL, so I'm good.
I know, but the problem is Anthony Richardson throws a ton. So if Anthony Richardson is out there, this call is going to look stupid.
All right, and now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the flag plants. My quarterbacks, we've already touched on Jordan Love. I think their pass rate's going to increase. I love all the receivers. I love Golden. I love Dobbs. So got to give me Jordan Love. And I had Jackson Dart. I think he starts sooner rather than later. Neighbors is elite. Slayton is good. Theo's good. And, I mean, Dart has looked awesome so far.
True. I'm excited. Yeah, 2 Giant fans here, so we're excited about that. Mine is Bryce Young. We talked about already. Don't need to reiterate that. And then Tua. We also talked about. I like Tyreek. It's a scary click. It's not fun to have a guy that could potentially take one hit and then be done for the year. But, it's a risk that I'm willing to take. And again, Tua's getting drafted at his floor right now. So I think both these quarterbacks are relatively cheap and will pay off their ADP.
Bryce Young is my highest owned quarterback.
Mine as well, Cole.
Flag plant running backs, Travion Henderson. I just think Ramondre fucking sucks. So I'm in my head, Ramondre is getting 0 carries, and that leaves a lot for Travion Henderson. I wish I was joking, but that's really how I feel. He sucks. And then Tony Pollard, like I said, Tajay is probably having surgery at some point. Yeah,
if you think Tajay is live to not play this year, then Pollard is like another round or 2 underpriced. Mine is Bucky Irving. We already talked about elite playoff schedule. Won't need to reiterate. And then James Conner, just the guy that nobody seems to like. I will take 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns in round 6 every year. Not much more needs to be said here.
My receivers, Olave. Like I said, this was before Rattler starting quarterback. I'm a little more scared on Olave now. I just have so much of him. Devontae, we don't need to talk about that anymore. And then Addison, again, we talked about that earlier. The 3-game suspension is like nothing.
Yep. And we've talked about all 3 of mine in great detail. Jennings, Egbuka, Burden. I don't know if this makes me a left or right wing slappy, but I think I'm a slappy either way.
I think it's right wing slappy.
I'll take that.
My flag plant tight end is Colson Loveland. Like I said, for no reason other than I have so much of him because I was clicking him over Tyler Warren all offseason like an idiot. But I still think he's a good pick. I'm not as excited as I once was, but I think he's fine.
Yeah, and Jatavion Sanders came on strong last year before the injury. I'm just betting on the Panthers offense. It's a very cheap bet to me, the only way to go on this offense is up where they're at now. So I'm just going to take the cheapest offense for what I think could be a middle of the pack on a bad defense.
My bold call, Tony Pollard is going to be a top 5 running back. What's your bold call?
Mine is Egbuka will be a top 5 wide receiver in the money weeks. We talked about his schedule ad nauseum. Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins. I'm bearish on Chris Godwin. Mike Evans has been a propensity to be hurt. 32 years old with bad hamstrings. Egbuka is just an elite player. His buzz out of camp has been insane. He's the guy you're going to need in the playoff weeks, and I'm just going to keep taking him until I think his price does not reflect that.
All right, that's all we got for today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm assuming BBM's going to be full by next week. So, I got to explain Pollard top 5. think Ty J's probably a 0. Like I said, maybe not a 0, but he's gonna be hurt for a lot of the season. Still not walking on his ankle, and Pollard's just good at football.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's limited downside with Pollard where he's going now, and if anything, he'll pay off the ADP.
Yeah. All right. Any closing thoughts?
That's it. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for sticking with us in the off season. We will be here for the BRs and talking about, this is where Gumby really shines. So stay tuned and enjoy the season with us.
Yeah, go join Pete's Bash. I'm gonna try it in there. So everyone, hop over to Pete's channel.
Thank you guys.
Peace out, everyone.